My parents sold their house and gave $650,000 to my brother as a wedding gift, then tried to invade my home like they owned it, until what I did next left them reeling. My parents sold their house of 30 years and handed every dollar, $650,000, to my brother as a wedding gift. I barely had time to process that betrayal before the next one hit. When I refused to evict my tenants so they could stay with me for a while, they showed up at the property with suitcases pounding on the door like they already owned the place. That was the moment I realized they weren't just crossing a boundary. They were invading my life. And what I did next left them stunned in a way they never saw coming. I should probably start by telling you who I was before everything snapped. My name is Nora, and for the last 8 years I've built a small but thriving interior design and custom furniture studio out of sheer stubbornness and sawdust. Most days you'd find me in a linen shirt, jeans, and my worn leather apron, hair tied back, sanding down walnut boards while the workshop heater hummed in the corner. It's the kind of life people underestimate until they see what those hands can make. And maybe that's always been my story, underestimated until pushed too far. I grew up in a house where the rules were unspoken but sharp. Derek, the only son, was the investment. I, the daughter, was expected to be understanding. I heard that word my entire childhood. Be understanding when Derek gets the new bike. Be understanding when Derek's summer camp costs more than your entire school year. Be understanding when your brother needs help with college, but you can figure it out. So, I did figure it out. 3 part-time jobs at once, eating dollar ramen, stitching together a degree I paid for myself. Meanwhile, Derek's tuition was wired straight from my parents' account the moment it was due. My mother used to say it with a smile, like it was a compliment. Girls just don't need as much help, sweetie. You're stronger. At the time, I didn't realize she meant it literally. Less help, more burden. As an adult, I kept my distance, not because I didn't love them, but because I could breathe better when I wasn't being squeezed into the role of the forever responsible child. Then I married Ethan, the first person who truly saw me, not the version shaped by guilt or obligation, but the woman who fought her way into a craft she loved. We bought a cozy home in Highlands Ranch and started talking about building a family. Quiet mornings with coffee on the porch, late-night naming lists for the baby growing inside me, the soft kind of future I'd worked years to earn. And part of that stability came from the Lakewood rental property, a small, steady investment I bought with my own savings. Jake and Amanda lived there, a young couple trying to get on their feet. They paid on time, kept the place clean, never caused trouble. In my mind, they were the kind of tenants any landlord would bend over backward to keep. Which is why when my parents called one afternoon sounding breathless with excitement, I had no reason to brace myself. They told me they'd sold their house, 30 years of memories. The porch swing, Dad built the kitchen. Mom painted 3 times. I imagined them finally taking cruises, gardening, settling into a slower life.